Imagine this. You're walking through a dense forest, the air thick with the scent of pine and earth. Suddenly you hear it, a whisper. It's faint, almost imperceptible, but it sends a shiver down your spine. What if I told you that whisper wasn't just a sound? What if it was a force powerful enough to shape reality itself? Curious? Let me explain. Words are more than just sounds strung together or symbols scribbled on a page. They are the architects of our lives, the invisible threads weaving together our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Think about it. When was the last time you felt moved, truly moved, by something someone said? Perhaps it was a heartfelt compliment that brightened your day, or a harsh comment that lingered in your mind for hours. That's the hidden magic of words at work. But how can something so intangible hold such immense power? The answer lies in their ability to transcend mere communication. Words are not just tools, they are bridges between worlds, the inner world of our thoughts and the outer world of shared experiences. Consider this. In 2023, researchers found that positive language in workplace communication boosted team productivity by an astonishing 31%. On the flip side, ambiguous or negative language led to misunderstandings in 60% of professional interactions. These statistics reveal a truth we often overlook. Words don't just describe reality, they create it. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Words have been revered as sacred vessels throughout human history. In ancient civilizations, they weren't seen as arbitrary symbols, but as divine conduits. Take Christianity, for example. The Gospel of John begins with a profound declaration. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This isn't just religious rhetoric. It's a testament to the belief that words are the essence of creation itself. They bring ideas into existence, shape destinies, and connect us to something greater than ourselves. Now, let's bring this idea closer to home. Picture yourself in a quiet room, pen in hand, writing a letter to someone you care about deeply. As you carefully choose each word, you're not just forming sentences, you're crafting emotions, memories, and connections. Those words will travel beyond the paper, reaching the recipient's heart, and leaving an imprint that lingers long after they've read them. Isn't that extraordinary? Words allow us to transcend time and space, carrying our intentions far beyond the moment they're spoken or written. Yet despite their power, words are not infallible. Have you ever struggled to put your feelings into words, or found yourself misunderstood because what you said didn't quite capture what you meant? This is the paradox of language. It simplifies the complexity of human experience, but in doing so, it sometimes falls short. A 2022 study revealed that 70% of online interactions lose emotional nuance, leading to misinterpretations. This limitation reminds us that while words are mighty, they require care and precision. So why does all of this matter? Because every word we utter carries weight. Each phrase we craft has the potential to inspire, heal, or harm. And in a world increasingly dominated by digital communication, understanding the true power of words is more crucial than ever. Whether it's a simple thank you that brightens someone's day or a speech that ignites social change, words are the foundation upon which we build our lives and relationships. As we embark on this journey together, prepare to uncover the layers of meaning behind the words we use daily. From their sacred origins to their modern-day applications, we'll explore how words shape our reality, influence our emotions, and connect us to one another. By the end, you'll see words not just as tools of communication, but as forces of transformation. But the sacredness of words extends far beyond Christianity. In ancient Egypt, hieroglyphs were believed to hold magical properties, each symbol acting as a conduit to the divine. Similarly, in Hinduism, the Vedas, ancient scriptures composed of hymns and chants, are considered vibrations of cosmic energy. Even today, the chanting of mantras like Om is believed to align individuals with universal harmony. These examples reveal a universal truth. Words are not arbitrary. They are imbued with meaning, intention, and power. Now let's bring this idea into the modern world. Think about the last time you read or heard something that moved you deeply. Perhaps it was a speech that inspired hope, a poem that captured your emotions, or even a simple phrase that resonated with your soul. Those moments remind us that words still carry a sacred essence, even in our fast-paced, digital age. They connect us to something greater, whether it's a shared human experience, a cultural tradition, or a personal revelation. However, the sacredness of words also comes with responsibility. As we've seen, words can articulate our thoughts, emotions, and attitudes, creating bridges between the inner and outer worlds. But they can also obscure meaning if used carelessly. For instance, consider how easily a well-intentioned phrase can be misinterpreted based on tone, context, or cultural differences. This duality, the potential for both illumination and obfuscation, is what makes words so powerful and at times so perilous. To illustrate this point, let's look at some modern examples. In 2023, researchers found that positive language in workplace communication boosted team productivity by 31%. On the other hand, ambiguous or negative language led to misunderstandings in 60% of professional interactions. These statistics highlight the dual nature of words. They can inspire collaboration and growth, but they can also sow confusion and discord. Moreover, the subjective nature of language adds another layer of complexity. Words often carry connotations that vary from person to person and culture to culture. For example, the word freedom might evoke feelings of liberation and empowerment for one individual, while for another, it might bring up associations of chaos or loss of structure. This subjectivity underscores the importance of choosing our words carefully, especially when communicating across diverse groups. As we reflect on the sacred essence of words, it's clear that their power lies not just in their ability to communicate, but in their capacity to transform. They allow us to express love, convey empathy, and inspire hope. At the same time, they challenge us to navigate their complexities with mindfulness and intention. So the next time you speak or write, pause for a moment. Consider the weight of the words you're about to use. Are they building bridges or creating barriers? Are they illuminating truths or obscuring meaning? By recognizing the sacred essence of words, we can harness their power to create connections, foster understanding, and leave a lasting impact on the world around us. Imagine standing on the edge of a vast, shimmering ocean. You can see its endless expanse, feel the cool breeze brushing against your skin, and hear the rhythmic crash of waves against the shore. Now, try to describe it. Capture every detail, every sensation, every emotion it evokes. Chances are, no matter how eloquent you are, your words will fall short. Why is that? Because as powerful as words are, they are not omnipotent. They carry inherent limitations that remind us of their humanity and ours. Words are tools designed to simplify the complexity of existence. They categorize, label, and organize our experiences into discrete symbols and sounds. But in doing so, they also strip away the richness of lived reality. This paradox, the very thing that makes language useful, also limits its ability to fully express the depth of human experience, is what philosophers and thinkers have grappled with for centuries. Consider this. In 2023, neuroscientists discovered that the human brain processes sensory experiences far faster than it can articulate them through language. For instance, when you touch something hot, your body reacts instinctively before your mind can even form the word pain. This lag highlights a fundamental truth about words. They are approximations, not exact replicas of reality. As the age-old adage goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And there are facets of human experience that simply cannot be conveyed through language alone. This limitation becomes especially apparent when we attempt to articulate emotions and sensations. How do you encapsulate the profound joy of holding your newborn child for the first time, or the crushing weight of grief after losing a loved one? The poet John Keats famously referred to this inadequacy as negative capability. The ability to embrace ambiguity, uncertainty, and mystery in the face of language's shortcomings. Even the most skilled writers and speakers must confront the fact that some experiences transcend the boundaries of words. Moreover, words are inherently subjective. Their meanings shift depending on context, culture, and individual perspective. For example, the word freedom might evoke feelings of liberation and empowerment for one person, while for another, it could conjure images of chaos or loss of structure. This subjectivity often leads to misunderstandings and miscommunications. A study conducted in 2022 revealed that 65% of workplace conflicts arise from differing interpretations of language. When words carry multiple meanings, they become double-edged swords, capable of both connecting and dividing us. The imprecision of language becomes even more evident when we tackle abstract concepts. Ideas like love, justice, or infinity defy concrete definition. Attempting to articulate these notions often feels like trying to hold water in your hands. It slips through the cracks no matter how tightly you grasp. Philosophers like Ludwig Wittgenstein have argued that the limits of our language define the limits of our world. In other words, what we cannot express, we struggle to comprehend fully. Yet, acknowledging these limitations does not diminish the power of words. Rather, it deepens our appreciation for them. Recognizing that language cannot capture everything invites us to approach communication with humility and intentionality. It challenges us to listen more deeply, to seek clarity, and to honor the unspoken dimensions of human experience. So, the next time you find yourself at a loss for words, or frustrated by someone else's inability to articulate their thoughts, remember this: silence, too, has its place. Sometimes, the most meaningful connections occur beyond the realm of language, in the spaces between words. By embracing both the strengths and weaknesses of words, we can navigate their complexities with greater wisdom and compassion. Imagine stepping into a dimly lit chamber in ancient Egypt, where priests chant sacred incantations to invoke the gods. Their voices resonate through the air, each syllable carrying an intention so powerful that it's believed to alter reality itself. What if I told you that this ancient practice isn't as far removed from modern science as it might seem? The idea that words are more than mere sounds, they are vibrational forces capable of influencing the world, has persisted across millennia. But how does this concept hold up today, and what does it mean for us in our daily lives? The belief in the magical potency of words is deeply rooted in human history. In ancient Mesopotamia, Greece, and Egypt, specific combinations of words were thought to harness divine power. For instance, incantations were crafted with meticulous precision to heal the sick, protect against evil spirits, or even control natural elements. These rituals were not random. They were based on the understanding that words, when spoken with intent, could act as conduits to the divine realm. This belief wasn't confined to these civilizations. It echoes in practices like the Vedic mantras of India, where rhythmic repetition of sounds is said to create vibrational patterns that influence consciousness and reality. Fast forward to the 21st century, and we find fascinating parallels between these ancient beliefs and modern scientific theories. Quantum physics, for example, has revealed that everything in the universe vibrates at specific frequencies. Matter itself is not solid, but composed of energy fields interacting at varying rates of vibration. When we speak, our words emit sound waves that ripple through these energy fields, creating subtle but tangible effects. A 2023 study exploring the impact of sound frequencies on water molecules found that certain tones can alter molecular structures, a phenomenon eerily reminiscent of ancient claims about the transformative power of words. This concept extends beyond physical vibrations into the realm of emotional and psychological resonance. Every word we utter carries an energetic charge that influences both ourselves and those around us. Positive affirmations, for example, are believed to shift one's vibrational frequency, leading to improved mental states and even life circumstances. Conversely, negative words contribute to what some researchers call vibrational burdens, perpetuating cycles of negativity in personal and collective experiences. In fact, a 2022 survey showed that employees exposed to consistently positive language in workplace communication reported a 45% increase in job satisfaction and overall well-being. But why does this matter? Because recognizing the vibratory consequences of words challenges us to use them mindfully. Think about your own life. Have you ever noticed how speaking kindly to someone, or even to yourself, can transform the atmosphere of a moment? Or how harsh words can linger long after they're spoken, casting shadows over relationships and self-perception? Our thoughts and emotions are intricately connected to the words we choose, creating a feedback loop that shapes our inner and outer worlds. Consider the story of Masaru Emoto, a Japanese researcher who conducted experiments on water crystals. His findings suggested that exposing water to positive words like love and gratitude resulted in beautifully structured crystalline formations, while exposure to negative phrases led to chaotic, fragmented patterns. Given that the human body is approximately 60% water, this raises intriguing questions about how the words we hear and speak affect our physical and emotional health. While some critics argue that Emoto's methods lacked scientific rigor, his work underscores a universal truth: words matter. They carry energy, and that energy leaves an imprint. Incorporating this understanding into our daily lives requires intentionality. It's not just about avoiding harmful speech, but actively choosing words that uplift, inspire, and heal. Whether you're addressing a colleague, comforting a friend, or simply talking to yourself, remember that every word sets off a chain reaction. By cultivating awareness of the vibratory power of language, we can align our words with our intentions, fostering harmony within ourselves and our communities. So the next time you open your mouth to speak, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, what kind of energy am I putting out into the world? Am I contributing to a symphony of positivity, or am I adding dissonance to the melody of life? Words, after all, are not just tools of expression. They are instruments of transformation, and like any instrument, they require skill, care, and purpose to play their part effectively. Imagine a bustling marketplace in medieval Europe, where merchants from different regions gather to trade goods. Despite their diverse backgrounds and native tongues, they manage to negotiate deals, share stories, and forge connections, all through the use of a shared language known as lingua franca. This simple yet profound tool acted as a bridge, enabling people from vastly different cultures to communicate effectively. Now, fast forward to today's hyper-connected world. With over 7,000 languages spoken globally, the need for a common language has never been more pressing or more complex. But why does this matter so deeply, and how can it shape our collective future? At its core, a common language is more than just a practical necessity. It's a unifying force that transcends borders, fostering understanding and collaboration. Throughout history, societies have relied on shared languages to facilitate trade, diplomacy, and cultural exchange. For instance, Latin served as the lingua franca of the Roman Empire, and later became the foundation for scientific and religious discourse across Europe. Similarly, Arabic unified vast regions during the Islamic Golden Age, enabling advancements in mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. These examples demonstrate how a shared language can act as a catalyst for progress, binding people together and creating opportunities for shared knowledge. But the importance of a common language extends far beyond commerce or academia. It also plays a crucial role in preserving cultural heritage and transmitting collective wisdom. Stories, traditions, and values are passed down through generations via language, acting as a repository of shared memory. When a community loses its language, whether due to colonization, globalization, or assimilation, it risks losing a vital part of its identity. UNESCO estimates that one indigenous language disappears every 2 weeks, taking with it centuries of unique cultural knowledge. A common language, therefore, must strike a delicate balance. While it fosters unity, it should not come at the expense of linguistic diversity. In today's digital age, English has emerged as the de facto global lingua franca, used by billions of people for business, education, and online communication. However, this dominance comes with challenges. For example, studies show that non-native English speakers often face barriers in international settings, struggling to express themselves fully or being misunderstood due to linguistic nuances. In fact, a 2022 report revealed that 68% of employees in multinational companies felt frustrated when communicating in English because of these complexities. This highlights an important truth. While a common language facilitates connection, it must be paired with empathy and adaptability to ensure inclusivity. Moreover, the concept of a common language isn't limited to verbal communication. It encompasses any system of symbols, gestures, or practices that enable mutual understanding. Consider programming languages like Python or JavaScript, which allow developers worldwide to collaborate seamlessly on technological innovations. Or think about visual storytelling, how images, music, and art transcend linguistic boundaries, speaking directly to the human soul. These forms of universal expression remind us that communication is multifaceted, and a truly inclusive society embraces multiple ways of connecting. The call for simplicity and honesty in language further underscores the importance of a common tongue. Complex jargon and convoluted discourse often alienate rather than engage, obscuring meaning behind layers of unnecessary complexity. By contrast, straightforward, authentic language resonates universally, cutting through barriers and fostering genuine relationships. For instance, educators emphasize the value of teaching children using clear, relatable language. Research shows that students exposed to simplified instruction develop stronger comprehension skills and build confidence in self-expression. This principle applies equally to adults navigating professional or personal interactions. A commitment to clarity strengthens trust and cooperation. So what can we take away from this exploration? First, a common language is essential for bridging divides, promoting understanding, and driving progress. Yet it must coexist with respect for linguistic diversity, ensuring no culture or community is left behind. Second, simplicity and honesty in communication amplify the power of language, making it accessible and impactful for everyone. Whether you're crafting a message for a global audience, collaborating across disciplines, or simply connecting with someone new, remember the transformative potential of words used wisely. Imagine sitting across from someone who speaks with clarity and sincerity, their words flowing effortlessly, free of pretense or convolution. There's a certain magic in that moment, a sense of trust and authenticity that transcends the need for elaborate explanations. Now contrast that with a conversation filled with jargon, overly complex phrases, or veiled intentions. Which one leaves a lasting impression? The answer is clear. Simplicity and honesty in language are not just preferences, They are necessities for fostering genuine human connection. Throughout history, great thinkers and leaders have championed the power of straightforward communication. From the parables of Jesus to the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi, the most impactful messages have been those delivered in simple, relatable terms. Why? Because simplicity strips away the noise, allowing the core message to resonate deeply. In today's fast-paced, information-saturated world, this principle is more relevant than ever. A 2023 study revealed that audiences retain only 10% of complex information, but up to 80% of content presented in clear, concise language. This stark difference underscores the importance of choosing our words wisely, not just for comprehension, but for emotional impact. Honesty in language goes hand in hand with simplicity. When we speak truthfully, without evasion or embellishment, we create an atmosphere of transparency that invites trust. Consider how children respond to adults who communicate openly and directly. Research shows that children exposed to honest, straightforward language develop stronger emotional intelligence and communication skills. They learn to interpret nuances, express themselves clearly, and navigate interpersonal relationships with confidence. These early lessons lay the foundation for a lifetime of effective and authentic interactions. But simplicity and honesty are not just virtues for personal communication, they are essential tools for addressing societal challenges. In a world rife with misinformation and convoluted rhetoric, the call for clear, truthful language has never been more urgent. Take, for example, the realm of public health. During the COVID-19 pandemic, countries that communicated guidelines in simple, actionable terms saw higher compliance rates and better outcomes compared to those that relied on dense technical language. This demonstrates how accessible communication can save lives, bridge divides, and drive collective action. Moreover, simplicity in language fosters inclusivity. When we use unnecessarily complex terminology, we risk alienating those unfamiliar with specialized jargon. This is particularly evident in fields like technology, law, and academia, where barriers to understanding often exclude diverse voices. By adopting plain language principles, such as using everyday vocabulary, short sentences, and active voice, we can make knowledge accessible to everyone, regardless of background or expertise. A 2022 initiative by the European Union to simplify legal documents resulted in a 40% increase in public engagement, proving that simplicity empowers participation. Yet, achieving simplicity and honesty requires effort and intentionality. It means resisting the temptation to impress others with elaborate phrasing or obscure references. It demands self-awareness, humility, and a commitment to clarity over complexity. As George Orwell famously advised in his essay, Politics and the English Language, never use a long word where a short one will do. This principle applies not only to writing, but also to speech and even thought itself. By simplifying our language, we clarify our ideas, making them easier to understand and act upon. The beauty of simplicity lies in its universality. Whether you're explaining a concept to a child, pitching an idea to colleagues, or sharing your story with strangers, straightforward language transcends cultural and intellectual boundaries. It speaks directly to the heart, bypassing the filters of analysis and interpretation. And when paired with honesty, it becomes a force for transformation, capable of breaking down walls and building bridges between individuals and communities. So as we reflect on the hidden power of words, let us remember this. The most profound connections are forged not through complexity, but through clarity. Every time we choose simplicity and honesty in our words, we contribute to a world where understanding triumphs over confusion, where empathy outweighs indifference, and where truth prevails over obfuscation. Imagine tossing a pebble into a still pond. The ripples spread outward, touching every corner of the water's surface long after the initial splash has faded. Words work in much the same way. Every phrase we speak or write sends waves of influence into the world, shaping not just our immediate environment, but also the broader currents of human connection and understanding. And yet, how often do we truly consider the weight of this impact before we act? Throughout this exploration, we've uncovered the dual nature of words, how they can build bridges or walls, heal wounds or inflict pain, illuminate truths or obscure meaning. We've seen their sacred essence, their limitations, and their vibratory power. We've examined how a common language fosters unity, while simplicity and honesty in communication deepen trust and empathy. But all of these insights point to one undeniable truth. Words are tools of transformation, and how we wield them determines the kind of world we create. Consider the stories of individuals who have harnessed the power of words to drive change. Malala Yousafzai's simple yet resolute message, "One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world," has inspired millions to fight for education and equality. Her words didn't just resonate, they sparked action, proving that clarity and conviction can ignite movements. On the flip side, history is littered with examples of careless rhetoric leading to division, conflict, and even catastrophe. The choice of whether our words unite or divide rests squarely on our shoulders. In today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, the stakes are higher than ever. Social media platforms amplify every tweet, post, and comment, giving our words unprecedented reach. A single sentence can go viral, influencing thousands or even millions of lives. This reality demands that we approach language with precision and purpose. Are we contributing to the noise, or are we adding value? Are we fostering understanding, or are we fueling polarization? These questions matter because the answers shape the fabric of our society. The importance of mindful communication extends beyond personal interactions. In professional settings, clear and honest language builds stronger teams, enhances productivity, and resolves conflicts. A 2023 study found that organizations prioritizing transparent communication saw a 35% increase in employee satisfaction and retention. Similarly, in education, children exposed to straightforward and authentic language develop critical thinking skills and emotional intelligence, equipping them to navigate life's challenges. These examples highlight the tangible benefits of choosing our words wisely. But perhaps the most profound impact of words lies in their ability to connect us to something greater than ourselves. When we use language to express love, gratitude, or hope, we tap into a universal current that transcends individual differences. Think about the last time someone's kind words lifted your spirits or gave you the courage to keep going. Those moments remind us that words are more than sounds or symbols. They are lifelines, binding us together in shared humanity. So, as we wrap up this journey, let's return to the pond and those ripples. Every word you say or write has the potential to create a ripple effect, influencing people and situations far beyond what you can see. Will your words uplift or undermine? Will they clarify or confuse? Will they heal or harm? The choice is yours, and it's a powerful one. Let's commit to using language with intention. Let's strive for simplicity without sacrificing depth, honesty without compromising kindness, and clarity without losing authenticity. By doing so, we don't just communicate, we connect. We don't just inform, we inspire. And we don't just exist, we contribute to a world where understanding triumphs over misunderstanding, harmony over discord, and positivity over negativity. As you move forward, carry this thought with you. Words are not neutral. They are forces of creation, capable of shaping minds, hearts, and futures. Use them wisely, for their echoes will linger long after they're spoken. If this content made sense to you, don't stop here. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future content. Now, watch this next video where I'll show you another essential step to transform your reality.